Three on the fake. Rodgers going for the end zone. It is caught. Rodgers on the move. End zone for Adams. He's got the first half. Rodgers is going deep for Valdez-Scantling. And he's got it.
Pressure again and just has to flip it. Rodgers throws.
It would be a surprise if Aaron Rodgers is not in the Steelers right now. I'm not saying he's made a decision. I'm not saying retirement.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have six Lombardi. They're coached by a first ballot round talking about Aaron Rodgers is not there on the first day of OTAs. Mandatory or not, where is your pride?
Make sure to subscribe. Thanks. Now back to work.
Yo, look, man, what it do is your boy, Mr. 1%, and we back right here on the 1% Network, and today, man, we got big news coming from Aaron Rodgers, right? But as of today, Aaron Rodgers is currently a free agent. His last team, we know, was with the New York Jets. Didn't turn out the way that he wanted it to be. You know, he got Devontae Adams sent up there. They had the big-time drop, you know, they did the big release with the Jordan cliques and all that cool stuff with them going to the New York Jets. That ended up not working out, right? So right now we have Aaron Rodgers doing his best Tom Brady impression, you know, trying to get the best deal, trying to put some teams together, put some things together, maybe make one last, you know, hopefully one last Super Bowl run for Titletown. You know, he can bring that belt back out. I don't think I've seen Aaron Rodgers flex the belt in a while, man. So hopefully he get to do that, right? But it's news coming out. You got legends, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers legend Terry Bradshaw, Hall of Fame quarterback, came out and said, I think it's a joke. You know, I think the Steelers taking Aaron Rodgers is a joke. He thinks Aaron Rodgers needs to go sit back and chew bark somewhere in Cali, you know, and have him a great old beer. You know, and that's coming from Hall of Famer, right? That's not just the everyday civilian talking that trash. That's a Hall of Fame Terry Bradshaw out there at quarterback, right? And at the end of the day, right, if you hear that, you understand that, right? This Hall of Fame quarterback being Terry Bradshaw, really not a fan of, you know, the drawn out movements, the trades, how things are moving now in the NFL, you know, and hopefully, you know, we do get to see Aaron Rodgers land somewhere. But according to Super Bowl legend, Hall of Fame legend, Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steel Curtain defense, the guy that quarterbacked all those teams, man, Terry Bradshaw, like you said, he don't think that it's the move for the Steelers to bring in Aaron Rodgers. Probably, you know, more satisfied with bringing in young guys and building them up. I mean, if you still have guys like Terry Bradshaw speaking on a program and helping out with the program, Mike Tomlin, man, reach out. You know, Big Ben, y'all should reach out, man. Do a quarterback camp or a quarterback school or something. You know, I think Kenny Pickett up there not too long ago was kind of going into the right direction, but, you know, guys want, you know, ball players coming from college to be finished products, and sometimes they're not. You know, they need a little more work, a little help, a little development. And I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach, and like I said, if you got legends like Terry Bradshaw sticking his nose in there, you might as well get him to come and help the daggum team. Now, and some other people covering the story, man. I did see old girl from ESPN and all those things, man. I believe Joy Taylor giving her ones and twos on the situation and saying she can't believe that Aaron Rodgers missed the first days of OTAs for the Steelers. Where's your pride? Where's your football? Want to build chemistry with the team? You know, things of that nature. And I can totally disagree with her, right? And this is where I come in and say I don't think that civilians is what I like to call them, people who haven't played the sport. If you've never been in that locker room, you've never been in the trenches, you don't understand. You know, you're going to your job every day, right? And that makes sense. But he's giving up his body, you know, physically and mentally. And it's not high school football. It's not little league football. He's not just going up there for fun. He isn't signed. He's not signed, Miss Taylor. He's not signed at all, right? So if you're not signed, you don't have a contract with said team, why would you show up to OTAs? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. You think a player, especially a guy like Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Titletown himself, should show up just for fun, for willy-nilly? No. Well, let me know what you think, but I say no, all right? And this is the truth, man. You know, I'm really, really glad for, you know, the place we in sports and media and content with the different streaming platforms and everything that everybody's using, because it gives people a chance, right? I think this is a good example of why the death of TV, cable TV, you know, why did it happen? What's going on? Because, you know, you have these people, you know, the Stephen A's, the Joy Taylors that have never been in the trenches, you know, but you get to speak on the trenches, meaning sports, you know, and it's cool. You can read stats. That's good. We know you can read, get a pat on the back. You went to school, but you can't play this game. You've never really played this game. So the respect level isn't there. And I don't care who it is. If you haven't played the game at a high enough level, you should definitely be able to only speak on it to a certain level. All right. So, like I said, man, the civilians, you know, and there is a place for you, you know, but that's old. That's old. You know, that junk is almost out. That's old TV. That's old cable. That's old ESPN. You know, that's why you have the Shannon Sharps, the Pat McAfee. It's coming, right? And you know, the Lou Youngs, guys that played in the professional game but now dabbling in content and different in other areas. So it's coming, man, and I'm excited. You know, I can't wait to see what the young guys do with their opportunities. And I think that the civilians, man, it'll be a small place for you guys. Like you say, reading stats off or something like that, but just getting up there and speaking on things that you've never been a part of, like that's the end of that is coming soon. All right, so right now back on Aaron Rodgers, man. Let me know what you think, right? Do you think that without signing the contract, you know, yeah, I could understand a rookie, a younger guy, you know, coming in and, you know, this is a chance of a lifetime, opportunity of a lifetime. They might do what they want to do, you know. But do you think a guy like Aaron Rodgers should show up, no contract, you know, no investments in himself from the team? Should he show up and practice, you know, throw the ball, help the team out, give his mind out, you know, his IP, you know what I'm saying, all the things that he's learned, you know, mentally from the game, playing the game at a high level, winning Super Bowls? Should he show up without a contract set in stone? You know, I think Aaron Rodgers could definitely help the Steelers, but kind of be like a building thing. Hopefully you got a younger quarterback or somebody behind him that can learn a lot, kind of the same way he did behind Brett Favre, you know, though the Steelers were only looking to sign Aaron Rodgers to a one-year contract according to Terry Bradshaw. But Terry Bradshaw doesn't think that it's worth it. So again, man, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's a good deal for Aaron Rodgers to go out there without a contract, or any player to go out there without a contract? And also, how do you feel about, you know, the civilians that speak and that get to talk about things that they never been a part of? You know, the stat readers. We're called these people stat readers. You know, you have like that was Keyshawn Johnson, I believe, that she was up there talking to, and he knew, right? Because Keyshawn, he said, I think his quote was, I want to give him another day. Let's give him some more time. You know, I think he knows and he understands, and him being a professional and understanding this entertainment, he let, you know, his co-hosts talk and co-host and do what they were supposed to do. So I can understand that. But what do you think, man? Do you think that the stat readers, the paper readers, you know, have long left in the game? You know, now with the YouTubes, the Shannon Sharps, the guys like that, Ocho Cinco and them boys doing their thing. We know it'll be a real big future for future, you know, it'll be real big in the future for athletes to jump on these podcasts or start talking, speaking their mind, letting the truth come out about the game, man. So that's it. This is 1% Network. Let us know what you think. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers and the guys. Terry Bradshaw, you a legend. And no disrespect to Joy Taylor, Stephen A, them type of characters, the civilians. 1% Network, we out.
3